Hi, today I would like to show how to install the additional packages that are needed to run the VTK DeVIDE FE-Mesher. I have all the data in my HG repository. For this you can go to your Mercurial folder and pull the newest version of the code. Then in the next step what you need to do is to start the DRE environment shell. I do this in the command line by accessing the DeVIDE directory. Okay. The first library you should install is the team library. So you go into the team directory and you start CMake. Then you browse to your Mercurial folder, workspace and team. So you want to have the shared libraries. You can also generate the testing. The version we need to do is release with debug information. And very important to change the install prefix. The install prefix is the directory you will install later the library files. I recommend to create a new folder in your DeVIDE folder saying team, and then you can configure and you can generate the make files. Now, I will be doing all this in Linux. There is a section in the manual and help part of the DeVIDE website. So if you're on the Windows device, you should additionally access now the web space or the website and follow the instructions for adding additional libraries in DeVIDE. There are coherent instructions for doing this in Linux and in Windows, and I'm following the Linux way, but you can just adapt the things that I'm showing here to the Windows way to install the stuff. So in the next part you go in your terminal into the build folder, and then you can type make install and clean. This will now take some time. Okay, this step is done. The next step is to install VTK Team. For this step, there are some things that needs to be done. First thing is that you should check if the team installation was successful. You can see this if these libraries or these folders are created for the binaries, the include and the lib. And then you have to go to the CMake files for VTK in DeVIDE. You search for the CMake files or the CMake config in here. And it should say here or here there should stand the complete path to the Python interpreter of your DeVIDE. It might be that they're sending something else, so I recommend to check this and yeah, include the proper path in there. Okay, the next step is then to access with CMake the VTK team. And give them also the build folder. So then you get the warning or an error. The main problem is that CMake doesn't find the team config, so you have to point them to the VTK team installation directory for the libraries that you have installed the libraries to some minutes ago, which is in your DeVIDE folder, team, lib, and in this special folder. Also, you need to change the VTK directory itself, which is also in your DeVIDE folder. So you go into DeVIDE, into VTK, lib, VTK, and then the version number. Here you go. Also, this library we will generate with release with debug information. Of course, in this case we also need to change the CMake install prefix. So here you will point again to your DeVIDE directory. You make a new directory giving VTK team. You press configure and there shouldn't be any errors anymore. Then you can press generate. In your terminal you access the build folder again. you type again make install and make clean. The installation can take some time, as you can see. So we will check again if the installation was successful by accessing the VTK team folder, and then you should see again these two folders with the includes and the libraries. The next library you will need to install is the library for the particle system. So you access the particle system folder from Mercurial. Also, this library comes with CMake files. So you go into particle system mm. What I forgot here is to change the directory for the build. Delete the cache, yes. Okay, there are some errors occurring again. Main thing is again the location of the team installation, which is needed for accessing the NRD files. So you point again to your DeVIDE folder, to your team folder, to your library, and this folder you select. Also here, release with debug information. And you will also create here a new folder for this library in the DeVIDE directory. And for the install prefix, you select this new folder. Shortly checking if everything else is okay. The OpenGL yes, the X11 yes. We can press configure, generate, and we create also this library. First go into the build folder and then create the library. Here you can see that the library was created. The next part is the VisPack library. So you go up and into the VisPack. Now I have to see. Okay, also the VisPack comes with CMake files, so same procedure as before. Accessing the folder. the M library should normally be there in a normally common Linux system. So if you need to install the M library by yourself in Windows, then I refer you to Google to have a look how to do that. I hereby just expect that you have the M library installed, and you will need to select the team folder again. We generate again the binaries in the release mode with debug information. Of course, we also create a new folder for the vispack, which we will point to in the install prefix. We can press configure, generate, and we go into the build folder again. We install the library with make. While the library is installing, I would like to also say that it might be possible that on some newer systems the libraries might complain during the generation, during this installation process, because of the new GCC. The new GCC is a bit more strict concerning the the generation and the interpretation of C files or C++ files. Therefore, there is a new flag that can be set in the CMake flags for CPP or for CXX here. So if you have any problems, then you can type here -f permissive for the compilation as well as for the linking, and then you should get rid of these problems. So this is exactly what I meant. When you get the problem, then you will have this kind of message that tells you you should use fpermissive to get the code running. So what we will do is do that. Use this flag -f-permissive. We generate the make files again, and we start the whole build process again. This is something you might not be needed to do in Windows, because yeah, it's a GCC issue, and you're not working in Windows with the GCC. So the installation should have been successful. We also have a look, and we have basically all the things there that we need, which is good. So in the next step we also need to compile some libraries, or some programs, better to say. One is for the generation of a medial axis of volume structures, and the other program is Techen for generating Delaunay triangulation and tetrahedralization. Both can be found in the Mercurial repository, but these things are not coming with a CMake file. These programs are coming with normal make files. So we have basically here all the code, and there should be somewhere the make file. Yeah, in generally I can only recommend you, if you're in Windows, use nmake for all the stuff you're doing here, because on the other hand, yeah, there are ways how to do this in Windows, but I don't know how. Then you have to basically Google on your own how to generate your binaries from makefiles in Windows. So here what we of course again do is run make, make all, sorry. What it generates are some binaries, and we need in the program, because in DeVIDE FE-Mesher we are calling these programs, so we need to copy the executables. Therefore we create a new folder called IMA3D, standing for integer medial axis. We select the executable files, and we're going over there, and copy the stuff. As I said, last library that is also generated on the way I showed now is Techen, so you go out of this folder into Techen. I will clean first, and then we run make. Okay, so now you have basically everything you need. You can have a checklist. What you need is the integer medial axis program, IMA3D. You need the particle system library, particle system MM. You need team for basically everything. as you saw, like at least 2 to 3 libraries are heavily depending on team, so you definitely need that. You need Tetgen, you need for the Lonely tetrahedralization, you need the Vispack for the tightening process or for the tightening filter, and you need VTK team for NRD input output. What you then can do is to build your own like starting script, either as a link in Windows or here with a shell script. So what is standing basically inside there is the path to your DeVIDE. You want to have the WX interface and the path to the workspace, modules, source, because this is basically the whole part of the FE-Mesher in DeVIDE. That is all the code, and there is also the module index, which VTK needs to load all the stuff. So minus minus extra minus module minus path, and then this path. So we want to check if everything was successful until now. We start the script. So basically that's okay. You can already check if there are all these filters included, and to check if everything runs as smooth as expected, you can go into the readers. You can choose the NRD reader. Oh, yeah, now I see my problem. Of course, basically to have this all working, you need to change your DRE config. So there you have to write inside like all the libraries you want to use. It's okay if you only write in here the team and the VTK team, because from all the other libraries we only need the executable files, so that's not a problem. They don't need to be integrated into the config, but you should check here that you have these two, so the team and the VTK team, and the correct path. We can now run the program again. We search for the NRD reader, which is still not there. Now I'm a bit curious why this doesn't work. Ah, yes, that must be it. So they need to be in the Python path and the ND library path. And next try NRD reader. Okay, so we should be in VTK team. That's our main folder, then the library, and then VTK team with a capital T. Okay. So now the reader should work. We can try that out. Apply, okay, run. So, and that's the proof that everything should work. It can load the VTK team. Everything else is like pretty much dependent on what you choose. For example, I can show you this with the integer medial access. The layout might change later, but what you need is this integer medial access and the gamma, and you have a basic temporary file location for a lot of these library dependent modules to store input and output files, and the binary path, and this binary path here should lead to your VTK installation. So into this folder, so you, in this case you just locate your IMA3D folder and you paste it inside here. Okay, but yeah, to have this work you basically need this array of images, so don't worry now to check that. Yeah, that's the basic instruction how to install all the libraries for VTK, for DeVIDE, to have it running for the FE-Mesher. Thanks.